After relocating to an isolated house, he stumbles upon a peculiar room that manifests any desire. Cash, food, jewels, anything he craves materializes in moments. But when his wife makes a request she shouldn't, their opulent existence becomes a deadly snare. Matt and Kate, a married couple grappling with a rough patch, move to a secluded Westminster estate. Matt, an artist who has lost his creative drive, is the reason for the move. The house is antiquated and in dire need of repairs, but their strained relationship and busy lives leave them no time or energy to fix it up. They begin clearing out years of accumulated junk, hoping to make some progress, but arguments and unspoken tensions constantly bubble to the surface. Despite the friction, Kate reminds herself this is for Matt's sake and makes the first move towards reconciliation, trying her best to support him. One day, Kate discovers a dead bird in the kitchen and takes it outside. She's only distracted for a moment when the bird suddenly disappears without a trace. Meanwhile, Matt starts dismantling some old furniture and uncovers a hidden opening in the wall. Tearing away peeling wallpaper, he reveals a heavy steel door. After rummaging through the clutter, he finds a key and unlocks it, discovering an empty, enigmatic room. Noticing the house has electrical issues, they decide to call an electrician. The next morning, Matt tries to rekindle his artistic fire and begins a new painting. Kate fully supports him, even turning down a translation job because she believes in him and wants to be there for him during this difficult period. Matt revisits the mysterious room but finds nothing unusual. The electrician arrives, immediately overwhelmed by the intricate, tangled wiring he's never seen before. He promises to return soon. He is visibly shocked to learn the house has new occupants, especially since the previous residents were reportedly murdered there. Curious, Matt delves into the house's past online and unearths newspaper clippings detailing its dark history. 45 years prior, the Sheffer family was brutally murdered by an unknown assailant. The killer is still only known as John Doe, his true identity a mystery to this day. Haunted by the image of this man, Matt struggles with insomnia and turns to alcohol for solace. One night, in the mysterious room, he muses over who built it and why. When his liquor runs out, the lights flicker, and suddenly, a fresh bottle appears just a few feet away. Shocked and bewildered, Matt decides to put this strange event to the test. One morning, Kate notices a lighting problem and calls for her husband. Hearing he's in the mysterious room, she finds him surrounded by paintings. He claims original Van Goghs and other priceless artworks are in there. Kate thinks he's too intoxicated to be coherent, but he suggests they test the room's power by making a wish. Kate asks for $1,000 and Matt starts digging through things to find the cash. She dismisses it as a coincidence, assuming he just stashed the money somewhere. Then she wishes for $1 million, the lights dim, and the requested amount suddenly appears before them. What's happening both terrifies and fascinates the couple. Instead of fleeing and sealing the room forever, they succumb to temptation and keep making wishes. Matt and Kate wish for hundreds of millions of dollars, expensive suits and jewelry. The room, like a magical treasury, grants every wish. It fills them with excitement and reignites the passion in their relationship. That evening, Kate asks the room for sexy lingerie, and Matt surprises her with flowers, black caviar and diamonds. Surrounded by luxury, they throw a party, and Kate decides to quit her thankless, low-paying job. It seems their life is becoming flawless, but getting everything so easily makes them lose interest. Kate loses a valuable necklace and doesn't feel upset because everything the room creates is an illusion. She can ask for 1, 2, or even 10 more necklaces, but none of it brings back the thrill they once felt. Kate falls into a depression because the room's gifts have no genuine worth. Trying to cheer her up, Matt asks the room for a baby crib and suggests they try to have a child. This shocks Kate and brings her to tears. They've already tried to have a baby before but suffered 2 miscarriages. She's not ready to endure that pain again and, overwhelmed, runs out of the room. Matt is also struggling, so he decides to go for a drive. When he gets back, he sees a flickering light and realizes Kate has made another wish. Hearing strange sounds from the bedroom, he goes in, horrified to find Kate has wished for a baby. Panicked, Matt demands they undo the wish, insisting a child isn't a thing to be wished for and that their desires have gone too far. He suggests they try conceiving the traditional way, but Kate refuses, believing this is the only right and painless option. Matt insists such wishes have gone too far and urges Kate to get rid of the baby, reminding her it's just an illusion. With tears in her eyes, Kate enters the wish room but can't bring herself to say those words. The baby cries in her arms and feels too real to let go. Matt tries to take control of the situation and the baby, but he also can't bring himself to do it, feeling it would be like murder. The couple ultimately chooses to keep the baby and become loving parents. That night, they encounter their first hurdle. The baby won't stop crying. Matt uses the wish room to conjure a bottle of milk, but upon returning to the bedroom, they're astonished to find Kate can actually breastfeed the baby. They accept this surprising development as a gift from fate. The next morning, Matt continues his research on the killer, John Doe. He discovers that the man is still alive and institutionalized in a psychiatric hospital. John Doe had reportedly claimed the room forced him to kill 2 people, a statement considered completely insane. Curious, Matt takes some money from the wish room and goes to the hospital. He bypasses the rules against visiting unnamed patients by posing as a journalist. When they meet, John Doe quickly deduces that Matt isn't a reporter but the new owner of the house. He smiles knowingly, realizing Matt has discovered the room and is now obsessed with it, a place that turns dreams into reality. John Doe reiterates that the room drove him to murder and warns the couple to abandon the house and the room forever. Before Matt leaves, John Doe shares a chilling phrase: "Scarier than the one who can't get what they want is the one who gets everything they want." On his way home, Matt stops at a gas station and is shocked to find all the money from the room has turned to dust. When he gets back, he throws the money out the window and watches it instantly disintegrate into ash. He continues to experiment with items from the wish room. He leaves a Van Gogh painting on the doorstep and notices the part outside the house rapidly ages and crumbles to ashes. Stunned and panicked, Matt grabs a hammer and begins smashing the floors and walls, desperate to understand how the wish room functions. After tearing apart nearly the entire house, he uncovers a dense network of millions of tiny wires hidden throughout the old house. On one wall, he finds a pattern resembling a microchip, leading him to believe it's some sort of ancient, mystical computer, though its purpose remains a total mystery. Tired of the constant noise and Matt's deteriorating sanity, Kate decides to step outside for some fresh air with the baby. Matt warns her of the danger and potentially irreversible consequences, but Kate ignores him. As soon as she crosses the threshold, something strange happens to the baby. Panicked, Kate rushes back inside, but Matt locks himself in, torn between saving the baby and letting the child vanish into ash. Wrestling with his conscience, Matt ultimately chooses to save the baby, but the child has now aged into a 10-year-old boy instead of a newborn. Kate names him Shane and dedicates all her time to raising him, focusing completely on his upbringing. Matt believes things have gone too far and reminds Kate that anything created by the wish room is not meant to leave the house. In that sense, Shane isn't a real person but a fiction that will disappear outside. Trying to accept this, Kate forbids Shane from leaving, explaining it's because of viruses and bacteria that could harm him. She struggles to raise Shane, who sometimes becomes aggressive and disobedient. The boy dreams of going outside and often rushes to the window like a dog to watch people pass by. Amid this chaos, their marriage begins to crumble. Matt doesn't share Kate's views and distances himself from both Shane and Kate. Soon he buys a pistol and starts going into the woods to practice shooting at cans. Curiosity eventually outweighs fear, and Shane decides to test the danger of the outside world. He cracks open the door and reaches his hand out, but Kate notices just in time and stops him. A few hours later, she begins boarding up the windows and doors to keep Shane from escaping the house that has become his prison. Matt disagrees with Kate's methods but helps her protect Shane from the dangers that await him beyond the walls. The following days remain difficult for the family. Kate is exhausted by Shane's growing lack of control. He throws his toys, chews on ice, and ignores her pleas. Matt completely isolates himself in his room, immersing himself in his art, creating unsettling images and shapes. At night, Shane asks his mom not to be mad at him and lies down beside her. He tells her he loves her and wants to always be close, regardless of the obstacles they face. The next day, Shane enters his father's room and accidentally breaks a glass orb, igniting another family argument. Kate begs Matt not to yell at their son, but Matt refuses to see Shane as his child, reminding everyone that Shane is just a fiction. Fearing his parents' anger, Shane retreats to another room and starts exploring. He notices the strange wiring and the diagram on the wall, which leads him to discover the wish room. The next morning, Matt finds a whole glass orb and is shaken, realizing Shane is responsible. Matt and Kate rush to the wish room. There they find a part of the forest, inaccessible to Shane, where he controls everything. The wish room has become the only way for Shane to leave the house, to play with a snowman and listen to birdsong. In a fit of rage, Matt forces Shane out of the room and locks it. He is terrified of the potential consequences, fearing Shane might wish for something that could kill them all. Their tense argument is interrupted by a phone call from John, which Shane answers. Matt forbids Shane from talking to strangers and takes the phone to confront John himself. John confesses that he, like Shane, was also created by the room and is not entirely human. He reveals that there's a way for a fiction to survive outside the house. The creator must be killed. That's precisely what John did. He murdered his mother who had killed his father. Now Matt is faced with an impossible choice: save his wife by killing the child or kill Kate so Shane can live a normal life outside the house. Kate overhears the conversation and, terrified, runs off to be alone and process the shocking news. Shane and Matt grow increasingly anxious about Kate's absence. and their frustration boils over. They lash out, smashing everything in sight as they vent their anger and disappointment. That evening, Matt tries to have dinner with Shane, but the boy's silly questions quickly irritate him. Unable to hold back, Matt finally tells Shane the truth. He has no father, and Kate isn't really his mother because Shane is just a fiction, a creation of the wish room and not fully human. The boy doesn't believe him, so in a fit of rage, Matt challenges Shane to go outside, knowing it would kill him. Scared and realizing Matt isn't joking, Shane runs back to his room. Feeling guilty, Matt apologizes and reads Shane bedtime stories to make amends. That evening, Kate returns home to talk things over with Matt. It has been a painful ordeal, but their love remains strong. With tears in their eyes, Kate and Matt reunite and make love in the kitchen, unaware that Shane is secretly watching them. The next morning, the couple wakes to the sound of the front door slamming. They go downstairs to find the door wide open, belongings scattered everywhere, and Shane sitting on the swings outside. But Shane is no longer a boy. He's transformed into a young man in his 20s. Although his mind still holds the innocence of a child and he struggles to understand much, none of that matters because he is holding a gun. Shane accuses Kate of lying to him about everything, then turns on Matt, threatening to shoot him for the terrible way he's been treated. Kate tries to shield Matt with her body and calm them both down. Matt can't hold back and attacks Shane, pushing Kate aside. She falls, hits her head on the piano, and loses consciousness. Matt and Shane struggle on the floor, wrestling for control of the gun, desperate to eliminate the threat once and for all. Sometime later, Kate slowly regains consciousness and sees her husband sitting nearby. Matt tells her he killed Shane and carried his body outside, where it turned to dust. Overwhelmed, Kate breaks down in tears but reluctantly accepts this harsh new reality. During lunch, she suggests they leave town and start fresh, but Matt dismisses the idea as unwise. After all, they have the wish room, a place that grants any desire, and here they believe they can finally be happy. But Matt's behavior unsettles Kate, especially when she notices him chewing on ice, just like Shane used to. Meanwhile, the real Matt awakens and realizes Shane and Kate have vanished. After searching the entire property, he discovers that Shane found the key and locked himself inside the wish room. Armed with a hammer, Matt smashes through a wall and crawls through a tangled maze of cables to reach the hidden space. Once inside, he steps into the alternate world Shane created. Racing through a forest, Matt finds a perfect replica of their house and understands Shane's twisted game. He's playing God. Matt attempts to reconnect with Kate, but she's distant and unreceptive. Then, in a chilling reveal, he unmasks himself. He is actually Shane, disguised by a wish that transformed him into Matt. Kate recoils and tries to escape, but Shane grabs her, slamming her head against the wall before overpowering her. Hearing the real Matt breaking into the house, Shane hides in another room. Soon, the two Matts face off, forcing Kate into a desperate choice. Both try to prove they're the real Matt and win her loyalty. The real Matt's tender use of Kate's nickname gives her the clue she needs. She pushes Shane down the stairs. The couple attempts to flee, but Shane controls this distorted world completely, trapping them in a labyrinth with no escape. Regaining control, Shane asks the wish room for a knife and savagely kills Matt. Kate stands frozen, silent in the face of Shane's threats. But it was all a trick. The Kate and Matt she's facing are illusions created by the real couple. They figured out how to manipulate the wish room, creating clones to distract Shane and slip away. Breaking free from the virtual trap, they force Shane back into reality. Knowing there's no turning back, Matt provokes Shane to attack him. All part of their plan, Kate opens the door and both tumble outside, locking the front door behind them. She watches in stunned silence as Shane rapidly ages into an old man, then dies, crumbling into ash. 1 month later, the couple leaves the house and settles into a modest motel nearby. Matt returns to their room with coffee, but Kate doesn't answer. She's in shock. She has just received a positive pregnancy test but doesn't know who the father is, her husband or her son. The motel's lamp flickers ominously, a chilling hint that they may still be trapped in the wish room. The nightmare isn't over. If you enjoyed the recap, please leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.